Dawson Rider Review. Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of the Dino Cycle and Power Ranger figures. So like every year we get various cycles for the Rangers, sometimes from show, sometimes not. This is a little bit of both. We've got Red Ranger Cycle, Blue Ranger Cycle, and Black Ranger Cycle right now. The cycle that the Red Ranger is on is the only one that we know will appear in the show. Who knows, they could surprise us. They've done stuff before, but as of right now this is the only official one. The other ones are just repaints. So, the packaging, I'll start with that first. I have them all stacked here. Here's just a quick look at the front. They're all pretty much the same. You just have different little animations of the dinosaurs that comprise, there we go, their cycle. Let's just take a quick look at the back because it's pretty neat. Alright, so here's really the main reason I wanted to show the back, simply because they have these really cool shots of red, black, and blue on the cycles, which is really cool. Other than that, all the backs relatively remain the same, just showing you how the cycles function, advertising other things, a part of the line, and all that fun stuff. If I can get this to turn without falling, that'd be awesome. And they also have a really cool side shot of each Ranger. But yeah, just pretty cool packaging for the sides and backs. Just wanted to show that off. Alright, so now we've seen that, let's just take a look. We'll start with red, so separate. So, they're not going to stand up now. You guys behave. So here we have the red cycle, and yeah, so this cycle is the only one that appears in the show. I think design-wise, it could be better. It looks better than some of the cycles we've gotten, but it also looks worse than some. With these releases, the main theme I'm going to go over in this review is I think they're taking a step in the right direction, but it's not quite there yet. Like I said, I think it looks okay. It doesn't look quite as cheap as some, but I still think it could be a lot better with just a smidge more paint, even if it was simple as the eyes right here. It's pretty basic, and there's not a whole lot missing where it's like it's a really intricate design, but maybe just even like as simple as the eyes here, and maybe like just little details, maybe one stripe of silver here could really make the difference, I think. Now the figures have improved. They're still not great, mind you, but they have improved. The past couple years we have just gotten figures that were stuck in this pose and were pretty much one solid color. Now these figures aren't the best looking, but I think they're a step in the right direction. We get actually a full-on 5-inch figure here with some articulation, as you can see. His legs can move back and forth. He's got a hinge joint. You can't move side to side, but his hands can move back and forth, and some hinge joint as well. You can't move his waist or head, which is obnoxious, so all you're just stuck here is doing Thriller, or he's just gonna do Roxy like a Puma. So I don't know, but yeah, it could be better. Like I said, step in the right direction. I mean, if they didn't want to do a full-on articulated figure, which would be cool, because like back in the day, these used to be almost identical to the 5-inch figures, like with Lightspeed Rescue, and you could just pick up a cycle and have a 5-inch figure. But even so much as just being able to turn the hands or the head would make a difference, because it could allow you to have a cooler looking pose on the bike. And the paint is still not the greatest. The helmet is okay, and this adds a little bit from the plainness. It's a step in the right direction. It's certainly a good step up from the old figures we used to get, but could be better. Hopefully they steadily improve. Like I said, step in the right direction, but just not quite there yet in terms of the figure. Well, he's just like, I gotta sit down, man. This is heavy, so I'll let him do that. But the main gimmick around these cycles is that they can separate into these two little dinosaurs here, which comprise the cycle. And then all of these cycles are just repaints, and you can mix and match the colors if you want to, which I think is a really cool idea. You got a Zord builder port here for combining them. Let me just do that. And you've got one here as well. And you can also combine it with anything Zord builder compatible, you know, the Zord armors when they come out, and the Megazords and stuff like that. Really cool idea, but I wish that they had given some variety to them, which I'll get to in a minute. Now, I do actually have something for comparison here, which I almost completely forgot, but they did actually release the cycle in Japan right here, which you can see does look quite a bit better. Like, if they just added a few more details to this, would have been a pretty solid substitute. And then this one has a Dino Charger, or a Judenchi for there, in the middle, which is part of how this is made. I think that it would have been cool to include that. I think they went Zord Builder over battery, which is kind of fine. But I think if they could have somehow pulled off both, it would have been cool, because it adds an extra layer of customization. Because, you know, even though the Dino Chaser battery is what makes this be what it is, it's cool to like have that extra layer of customization, because you can, with the toy, put in anything you want. So I think that could have been cool. Here's just is the figure that came with it. It's just kind of this skinny little dude, but he does look quite a bit better. But yeah, that, I almost completely forgot that you actually had that. But I'm actually going to keep these separate so I can do one mix and match here in a second. But here we have blues. As you can see, it's just a repaint. Instead of yellow, we have gray. Instead of black, we have sort of a darker gray combined with a navy blue. I think this one's the most boring, but at the same time, I kind of like the muted colors with it. It makes it look less weird. But yeah, like I said before, I wish they could still do the repaint, but maybe do some slight remolding. Just some slight little detail changes, I think could really make the difference in making these a lot cooler to swap. Let me just do one quick swap just to show you what it's like. So here is the back of reds on blues, which kind of looks okay. And see, this is like a bad one. I should use the red one, but see, there's the swap idea. Just, it's like wife swap, but with bikes. So if that should clear it up for you. If you prefer to think of it like that, but it's not really like that. But yeah, so that's a really cool idea. If they had just made these slightly different from each other, it could be even cooler. The colors just aren't enough for me, I don't think. And I think that it's one step away from a cool idea. Here's the blue figure, pretty much same as red, same articulation, same sort of bland details. Like I said, step in the right direction, but we're not quite there yet, man. We're not quite there. All right, let's get him on the bike. And he's gonna, oh yeah, forgot their main feature, they can roll. They have a heck of a time standing up. All right, now we have the Black Rangers, which stands out like a sore thumb. I mean, do people really say that? I mean, have you ever looked at someone and thought, baby, that baby is sore? Anyway, random Buffy reference. Anyhow, like I said, it really sticks out. It's really this bright red. I think that it could stand out with the combinations. And then you have sort of a lighter gray and a darker gray here. It just seems really odd. I think this one almost looks the cheapest because of how blatant the red is. Again, like I said with the last one, some slight changes in each one would have been really nice and would have made this a really cool option. Get over there. And here are their little individual ones. So yeah, there is that. So let's take a quick look at the black figure. Boom, here he is. Pretty much the same story as the others. Like I said, the same articulation, same fairly bland. But yeah, overall, it's pretty repetitive what I'm saying, but I feel that these cycles as a whole, both in terms of figure and bike, were a step in the right direction with some really good thinking, but they just aren't quite there. I think the figures still need to look better. I think both for collectors and for kids, because, you know, I bought these when I was a kid. I'm still buying them now. But making a nicer looking figure would go a long way. Like I said, they're starting to get a little better, but just a smidge more in the right direction. And the idea behind the cycles, mixing and matching, is really cool and goes with the whole sort of customizable, choose your own fun thing that the Power Rangers line has had. But if they had just made them slightly different beside the color, it could have been really cool. So overall, I think there's some really cool thinking and some steps in the right direction, but still, these are a pretty easy pass. They're pretty bland looking toys and one of the weaker links and otherwise really fun toy line I have. That was a really weird way to phrase it. But yeah, steps in the right direction, but still falling flat here on the cycles. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, make sure you check out the Crazy Podcast at writersrangersrambles.com. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, Dawson Ryder, signing out.